Welcome everyone. It's Dawn Duval with Shall We Stamp. Let me open up the comments. All right, comments are opened. We are streaming to YouTube and the VIP group on Facebook. Why don't you come on? If you're on Facebook, just introduce yourself with your name and let me know that you're here. YouTube, you don't need to do that because YouTube automatically shows your name, but Facebook doesn't. And we will start, I'm trying to adjust my camera, sorry. And we'll start here in just a few minutes. All right, hello, hello. I figured I'd go ahead and come on. Oh, hello, BFF. Where's your husband? Oh, that's right, he's out, I forgot. Wednesday, should know better. Should have known better. All right, we are ready to go. Oh, can't sit here too much longer. I was watching the news. That's depressing. So, does the thing, I lowered the camera down. Does that look a little bit better for y'all to see everything a little closer up? Yes, of course, my nose starts to itch once we go live. Imagine that. I'm tired. Oh, I guess I shouldn't do that. People are going to see me when they watch the replay. I'm in here yawning. So, anyways, got some fun cards, and they're pretty easy to do tonight, so that'll be good. So we're going to wait until others pop in. I put a reminder out so everybody should know that we're here. Are the girls with you watching this too? Riley's laying underneath the desk. I don't know what her problem is, but that's what she's doing. Oh, I forgot I got to pull out some baubles. I just realized that. I don't have that out on my desk. These are retired, but that's all right. We're going to use them. That's okay. We're going to use a retired product. Oh my goodness. That's not good. Oh, we can use that too. All right. Hello, Karen Jo. How are you? How you feeling? Any better? I was sitting here, thought I was going to fall asleep. I was listening to the news. I thought I got to get up and move around because if I sit too long, I'm going to get lazy. Lazy, lazy, lazy. Oh, good. I'm glad you're feeling better. The weather's picking up too, so that hopefully will help, all the warmness. I turned the heat up just a little bit here in the studio only because it seems to be cold. I'm not sure. It's probably me. But I don't like to be cold. I tell you. So, anyways, we're going to start. Hello from Maryland. It's Miss Patty, who used to live in the Villages. And then she escaped to Maryland. Is it cold up there? I think it got up in the 70s, into mid to high 70s here. So that was kind of nice. I walked with the dog and we kind of stood out in the sun for a while because it was just felt so good. So good. So, oh, pardon me. Whew, I gotta stop, wake up. I gotta drive home too. Can't be falling asleep in here. So, I contacted the lady that runs the community here that for the stamp classes, and I have a meeting with her on Friday morning. And she thinks it's a great idea for me to offer some stamping classes. So we're gonna talk on Friday and see how it goes. See what I already told her what my thoughts were. I said I don't know how y'all do things, but this is what I'd like to do, and what. So I'm gonna meet with her Friday. So I've got all of these cards packed up, already bagged to go to Cards for Soldiers, and I thought, well, let me wait until I meet with her because I wanted to show her some of the things that I've done in the past so she can kind of get an idea. So 45 in Maryland. Oh my goodness. Don't you wish you were back in the Villages? It's still probably cooler. I mean, it's warmer up there, but it was a lot cooler. They run in about 8 degrees cooler up there than we are here in Fort Myers. It's kind of strange. So anyways, All right, it's 7 o'clock. We're going to give it another 2 minutes and let the others pop in. We're going to do 3 cards tonight. I know, I'm hoping to get back because I miss being, I was telling my husband, I miss being around people. I mean, not that I'm around people because when I walk in and out of here, I see people walking along the water and I'm like, you know, all that stuff. And I speak to anybody. But the fact of just not having anybody, you know, that I can do the same stuff with. You're wishing for snow? Ugh. You're crazy. But, yeah, so that would be nice to be able to get back and just, you know, it's more of a social thing, you know, it's what we all like to do. And most everybody enjoys being around other people. And so I miss that part of it. And I haven't done it since COVID. So, because when we shut down in the villages, they didn't open up the rec centers, and I wasn't ready to go back when they had started opening towards the end. So it makes it a little difficult, especially if you're a people person. You know what I mean? Which I am. So, anyways, okay. So we're gonna do 3 cards. I'm gonna give it another minute, and then we'll start because I know everybody usually comes in at 7:01, but I want to try to start a little bit shortly after 7 because those that are here on time, plus doing 3 cards. I've got everything ready, so it should only take an hour. I just don't want to, hello from Idaho. How are you? I just don't want to, you know, have to go over, but if we do, we do. So we went to a concert last night. It was outdoors, out on the water here at on the island, and it was a doo-wop band. And they were good. They were okay. I say they were okay. The music, the songs they did were, which I loved because I love all the oldies. But 2 of the singers were, yeah, they were so-so. But the one guy that did bass singing, I guess it's bass, whatever. If it wasn't for him, he's the one that made him sound really, really good. So that's why I wasn't here last night. So we went and saw that. So anyways. All right, I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera down. I'm going to go ahead and go through my spiel. And when those that come on, they'll just have to catch up with us. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera. Welcome to everyone that is here. I'm Dawn Duvall with Shall We Stamp. I am an independent demonstrator with Stampin' Up, and I've been doing this. It's 12 years. Did I say 12? Yeah, I think it's 12. Let me think. I got to count. Yes, 12 years. This month, I actually looked. I signed up on January 30th. So 12 years I've been doing this. Can you believe that? But it's okay. Yeah, it was nice to be outside. It was not too cool, even though I wore my warm coat because I don't like to be cold. So I was prepared. It's on the water, so I wanted to make sure there wasn't the wind blowing and all that. So I was definitely prepared. So anyways, okay. So I'm going to go ahead and do my stuff. I've got, again, the January tutorial bundle. There's 36 projects. So, and I'll go over, again, this you will receive by email once you place a $50 order in my online store using well, you don't have to use the host code, but if you do, that would be nice when you're doing your shopping to use the host code. So it helps me. If your order is $50 or more, then you'll get this. Now, I've decided I'm going to do something new, and I know others are doing this as well. I am going to start offering my card kits for free with a minimum order. So, and there's 3 ways, actually there's 4, but 3 for the most part. If you place a $35 through my online store using the monthly host code, which is this one here or the big one right here that you can see, you'll get 2 of each of the design of the cards, and you'll get everything that's required as far as paper, envelopes, all the cardstock will be cut and scored, paper will be cut. Any punching out that needs to do or die cutting, I will do that. You will not receive any stamped images because that goes against Stampin' Up's policy. So if you place an order of $35, now what I'm asking is it be placed like from today through next Tuesday at 5 p.m. because next Tuesday night we'll have a class, and then that will start another week of cards. So if you place an order between now and next Tuesday at 5, then you'll get this week's cards sent to you in the mail. Now, if you place a $50 order, you'll get the same kits and everything that I just mentioned. You'll also receive the January tutorial bundle, And since it's celebration, then you also will get to choose a $50 celebration item. So that's a good thing. And then if you place a $75 order, you'll get the same thing as the ones before. You'll get the celebration item, the tutorial bundle, and all. And I'm doing 3 cards, so it'll be 3 card kits, 6 cards. And you'll get your choice of an $8 embellishment. So you would just let me know what embellishment that you would like. Hi, Faye. And I would order that for you. Now, if you're getting close to $100, my recommendation is that you sign up. We've got a great joining offer, and I mentioned it last week, and I'm going to mention it again. And I'm sure if you watch other demonstrators, they're going to probably be saying the same thing. So there's 3 ways. Well, there's 2 price points, but there's 3 different things you can get. So if you order, if you pay $129, you will get to choose $175 in product, plus you get the option of getting a white mini stamp and cut emboss machine, and that's a $63 value. So you're going to get that free plus $175 in product, or you would get the white mini stamp and cut emboss machine. So it's your choice. You can get the new boho blue, which is one of the new colors that's coming out in May, or you can get a white one, and that's would cost you $129 plus tax, and you would order $175 in product. Or if you already have those items or you don't need those, then for $99, you still get to choose the $175. So you'd be talking plus sales tax. So you're probably talking somewhere around $105. You don't get the mini cut and stamp machine. So if you're ordering anywhere from $75 and up, my recommendation is you go ahead and join. So if you join my stamping community from now through the end of June, you would receive 20% discount on all of your purchases from now through the end of June. So that's something to keep in mind. $175 of stuff basically for $99 is nothing to sneeze at. You know, the Stampin' Right markers are I think they're $110 for the 48 markers. So just keep that in mind. So that's my offer. So from week to week, whatever the cards are that we do that week through our the Facebook Live, then those would be the card kits that you would receive in the mail based on what you purchase. Okay, so we're going to get started. Now I am using the Country Floral. Let me get back to this page. The Country Floral stamp and punch. Now, I do need to let you know, and I just went and checked the inventory. The punch, unfortunately, is not available right now. Oh, my goodness. You know, anytime, because we don't do that many punches anymore, right? So when a punch comes out, man, they sell fast. So these, you can get the stamp set. The punch will not, it's tentatively due in April 15th. Can you believe that? April 15th. If that changes, I will let you all know that. So again, keep in mind when they come out with new products, especially if it's a punch, they tend to go a little bit faster than others. So we're going to work with the gingham paper and this paper here. That's part of the suite, and also the burlap and the real red ribbon. So we're going to be working with those. I did not purchase the gems. I'm just going to use something that's been discontinued, but that's okay. That's all right. So we're going to do 3 cards tonight. So here is the gingham, and here I'll just show you the stamp set. You just saw it, and this is the wonderful punch that has now sold out. And I love this because you get 2 hearts punched out of it and the leaves. So you can use this for, you know, for other things as well. You can punch out of paper, punch out of the designer paper that comes with it, which you'll see we'll do a little bit of that this evening as well. And then this is the stamp set, the Country Bouquet, and this is a 2-step stamp here. And we're going to work with that too as well. And then this is the gingham paper, which is sweet sorbet, mint macaron, balmy blue, and petal pink are the colors. So we're going to be using this paper as well. So you'll also receive all the paper and items that are going to be cut if you place an order in my online store. Okay, so the first card, we got 3 cards we're going to make, and they're all very simple. So this is the first card. Now I am using 2 items on this card that are retired, just to let you know. The opal rounds are retired if I'm not mistaken. and this punch right here. Now we do have another another corner punch that does various things, but I don't have that one, so this is the one that I used. All right, and this is opening up like that. Okay, so we're gonna get started. All right, so we're gonna start with a piece of mint macaron, which is 4 1/4 by 4. I'm sorry, it's 4 1/4 by 4, all right, 4 1/4 by 11. And we are gonna fold this in half, and you're gonna score it at 5 1/2, and I'm gonna fold it, because I'm too lazy to bring my paper cutter down. Let me get my bone folder. And we're gonna go ahead and just give this a good crease. Is this red background distracting from y'all instead of white? I thought it might be a little bit better. Okay, so now we are going to, I have a piece of a piece of basic white that is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4 inches, and that's what we're going to use for the base of our card. And then we're going to cut a couple of hearts out, and this is one of the papers that's in the paper pack that comes with the suite, and that's the back side of it. So I'm going to pull in my punch, and we are going to cut out a heart out of here. So let me just cut that off right there. And I'm just going to slide this in, and it really isn't going to matter how it goes because we're going to do a heart. So I'm just going to do right like that, because you got to get this in there so you get the heart, the bottom of the heart. So I'm going to pop that out. Of course, it punches out leaves and stuff, but we're not going to use those. We're going to set that off to the side. All right, so there's one of our hearts. And now the back side of this petal pink is the piece that we want to use. So I'm going to punch this out. Actually, yeah, I'll go ahead and do this. And I'll use these leaves for another project. Okay, so that's what we've got. So see how easy these cards are? So I've got 2 leaves now that I can use for something else. So I'm going to set these off to the side, and I can use those for another project. So we have our 2 hearts, and then I have this little heart here, and I'm going to flip that over. All right, so that's that. And then we have our piece of designer paper, which is, this is 1 inch by 3 1/4. So we're going to go ahead and attach this right now, because when I use the corner punch, I want to punch to make sure that has the holes in it as well. And let me bring in my craft mat. So these cards, you know, I'm trying to get back to doing things a little bit not so complicated, I guess. So we're going to make them somewhat easy, and they still look beautiful, right? And let's pull this up. So we're going to lay this on the bottom. You know, I don't use petal pink much, and it seems like almost a lot of the things, the papers now are using the petal pink, which I think is kind of interesting. So, all right. So I'm going to go ahead and bring in this retired corner punch. And this is the one that we used to have that does a rounder, and then it does this little hole thing. And then we're going to use this little flower. Now, all you do is you push it in and make sure it goes in to the corner. And then you just push down in the center of the punch, and it automatically punches whatever item it is that you want. But you want to make sure you get your cardstock in and the corner all the way, okay? Now I'm going to be punching through, this is 2 pieces because we've got the designer paper on top. And let me get my corner in here. All right, and this one's going to be a little bit harder because I'm going through 2 sheets of paper. Of course, now it doesn't want to cooperate, does it? Hang on. All right, let me see if I got my strength. There we go. And then we're going to do one more. Put that one in there. I used to never know how to work this stupid thing when I shouldn't say it's stupid. This thing there was one years ago that we had, and I could never figure out how to do it. And then somebody told me what I was doing wrong. I went, oh, well, no wonder. Okay. All right, so there we go. And then you have all these little pieces of paper that get in your way. So let me just move these, which I probably should have put it on a piece of paper. It'd be easier to pick them up, huh? Oh, let's see. Okay. All right, so that's got our little, excuse me, our little holes in them. So now all we're going to do is place put our card together, and then we'll stamp our image. We'll bring our black Memento black ink in. All right, so I'm going to glue this one down, and then the other one I'm going to pop up on dimensionals. So let's go ahead and add some adhesive to the back of this. And we're going to just place this down here. There's no right or wrong way. I just put it down so kind of looked at an angle just so it gives it a different type of look. And then this one we're going to pop up on dimensionals. And I'll put 2 on this heart. And we want the blue to show through. Let me make sure I stay in the camera for you guys. Sorry about that. And let me put one more. This is like overkill on this heart, isn't it? Okay. And then this one, I'm going to just overlap it a little bit. And I think we'll do it like that. And then I've got this little guy, so we're going to pop him up. Let me see. I think I better do, let me see if a big one will fit on here or not. He might be too big. No, I don't think so. We'll go, whoops. We'll go ahead and put one dimensional on this one. I got to bring my trash can over a little bit. And we're going to pop that one right about here. I'm going to move him a little bit closer. Okay. All right. Then we're going to come in with some of this new burlap ribbon. And this comes in a pack with the real red. And we're going to wrap this around. And I'm going to, oh, I got to get my ribbon scissors. Give me 1 second. I forgot to grab them. Sorry. Okay, they're right here. I wish they sold. I wish Stampin' Up! Would bring these scissors back, because I really like those for cutting, you know, stuff. But I don't use my ribbon ones for anything but ribbon. And if you saw my one of my posts, you'll see that's what I put. So I'm just gonna kind of gauge, and I'll just cut it right about here. All right, so we're gonna add this, and I'm going to put a little bit of seal on this just because it makes it hold a little bit easier. So I'm gonna put a little bit here, and then we'll get the ribbon on here. Make sure I get it yeah, I'm gonna hold it about like that. And then we'll run this through. Whoops, I don't want it down there, I want it up top. Hang on a second, let me get it over here. Helps if I put it in the right spot, right? All right, so let's get that on here, because I'm going to just have it right at the edge, kind of halfway going up the ribbon. And then I'll put a little bit here as well, just a little strip. And that will help hold it down. And then we're going to tie some baker's twine. And that strip helps hold it down. So we'll get that right like that. And then we've got our baker's twine right here. So we'll take a little bit of this, excuse me, and let's cut that off. And we're going to wrap this around, and we're going to tie it in a bow and kind of crimp it. So let's turn it sideways. It'd be easier for me to try to, I'm going to tie it in a knot first to make it easier. And then I'll tie it into a bow. So we'll get that in there nice and tight. And we'll just tie it into a knot real quick, and then I'll make a bow, and then we'll trim off any excess that we have. I'll tell you what, I went and got my nails done last week, and I'll tell you that they had me sit with a new lady, and my nails have chipped starting like the next day, and I'm not too thrilled. And I even had her cut them short, and so I'm going to have to talk to the owner and let her know I wasn't too thrilled about that. But anyways, all right, so we're tying our bow. You know how I am with the bows. I don't think I have fat fingers. I think it's just the way I hold this stuff. I don't know. Everybody seems to be much more comfortable when it comes to tying bows than I am. I'm not quite sure why that is, but I will get there. See? All right, so give me a second. We're just going to tighten this up a little bit, and then we're going to trim some of this off. And, okay. That's a little too big, isn't it? Shorten him down a little bit. All right, there we go. So let's, and take your fingernail. If it keeps curling, just take one of your fingernails and just pull through, and that will loosen it up. So let's just cut some of these off because those are too long. And then I'm also going to trim this down because we don't want this to be too big. So let's trim this. Let's go that way, and we'll just trim this one this way too. All right. So that's that. Okay, so there we go with that. Now the next thing we're going to do is stamp our sentiment. And this is where you hope you don't mess up, right? And we're going to put on here, I'm going to do the same thing, just wanted to say. And the stamp set's got some really nice verses in here. So the inside of the card can say with love, or I love you, or for you, or whatever. So I love that we are friends. Happy Valentine's, just wanted to say. So it's got some really cute sayings. So we're going to stamp this in Memento Black. And I'm going to stamp it right above the ribbon. So I'm going to stamp it right about there. Hopefully I don't have too much black ink on it. All right. And we will move this out of the way. Okay, and then this we're going to pop up on dimensionals because we want this to stand out. We want our card to look really pretty. So I'm going to set off over here my corner pieces because I don't want you to see those through those holes, right? So we'll put 2 there, and then I'm going to put 2 on the sides and then 2 in the center, or 1 in the center just to hold it up. All right. Excuse me. Push your thumbnails down to pop up the, kind of helps to release the backing. So we'll do that, and then we can just pick them right off. Makes it a little bit easier. All right, so we've got that, and then we're going to make sure we've got our card opening the correct way. Let me measure this for a minute, because for some reason this looks a little big. Hold on a minute. I took it out. Oh, let me cut this down just a sec. I've got it almost at 4. I must have pulled this one out of the bag. Hang on a minute. I got to cut this down. Good thing I checked it. There we go. It was 4, almost 4 and a little bit shorter than 4.5, so I thought it looked kind of wide. All right, so we're just going to take this and pop it right here. All right, let's make sure that's straight. Nope, it's not, so hang on a minute. You know, it's kind of hard when you're sitting down, you know, and you can't pull it up and look at it in your face. Give me a second. Let me get this straight. There we go. I think that's good. All right, there we go. And then I'm going to add, these are retired, but I know they're here they are. These are the opal rounds, and I'm pretty confident they're retired, but I wanted to put something on here. These are a little bit big, but I thought they would be pretty. So I'm just going to set 2 on here. We'll just put 1 up there. I know they say you should put 3, but I'm just going to do 2. All right, so there is our first card. Isn't that cute? And it's so easy to make. Hello from Montana. How are you in North Carolina? And then, of course, you'll put your inside, which I'll do later, your white piece on the inside. So there's our first card. Pretty simple, isn't it? It looks really nice. All right. So the next one we're going to do is going to be this one. And this one I did copy from, I cased it, if you will, from Jamie. Oh, my goodness. I can't think of her last name. I think it starts with an A. But I saw this on Pinterest. And so I liked how she did that. So I thought, well, I'm going to do that card as well. All right, so this is, give me a second because I'm trying to figure out where my stuff is. Okay. All right, so this card is going to be on a thick piece of basic white. This is 4 1/4 by 11 as well. And we are going to, now what we're going to do, why do I have this in here? Oh, I need a piece of white. That's why. I'm thinking, why do I have this cut in here? I do need to get my paper cutter out because I need to cut this. All right, we are going to do some cutting out of the paper, but first of all, let me come in and cut my white because I put another piece in here and I didn't cut it. So let me measure because this is just a little bit different. This is 3 3/4, so it's going to be by 5. 3 3/4 by, like, let me see, where am I? Not quite, about 5 1/8. So let me just cut this real quick. So this would be, let me just cut this. Excuse me, what did I say? 5 and, we'll go with 5 1/8. And if it's not right, we'll adjust it. And then 3 and, what did I say? 3/4, I think. We'll go a little bit. All right, let's get that cut down. We'll put this off to the side. All right. And as I mentioned, excuse me, for those that just joined, this punch is on back order. It will not be in until middle part of April. So I'm just letting you know that now. Unfortunately, it's a little disturbing, but let me see if I got the right size. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, so we are going to, what did I do with my card base? Hang on a minute, now I've lost my card base. I know I cut the other one up. Did I cut the wrong one? Hang on. Jeez. Alrighty, I guess I did. Hang on a minute, let me get my, hold up. I think I cut my card base by mistake. Hang on. Hold up. Oh wait, do I have one over here? Hang on, hang on. Dog's looking at me like I'm crazy. Yep, I did. That's my mistake. Hang on, I thought I had 2 card bases in there and I didn't. All right, let's cut this real quick. Okay, let me cut my card base. I have my piece of white. Okay, we're gonna cut this at 4 1/4 by 11. I know what I did. I had it in the envelope. I don't know what I was thinking. My brain's not cooperating or something. That's not sure. All right. Now, since I have my paper trimmer here, let's go ahead and score it at 5 1/2. What do you think about that? So we're gonna do 5 1/2, and we'll just score it right there. All right. Now we're cooking. More of a pop color, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna fold this over, give it a good crease. Let me move these scissors out of the way. I got too many things all of a sudden in my way. All right, now what I normally do, instead of using a bunch of strips of paper, all right, hang on, I've lost my other strip. Well, I was pretty organized until just a minute ago. Hold on, let me make sure. I know I pulled both of them out. All right, hang on. If y'all see it, maybe it's under. Hold on. What did I do with you? All right, that's probably why I should have white paper so I can see. I have lost my strip. Hang on. What did I do with the thing? My dog's looking at me like I'm crazy. Oh, here it is. It's stuck to my paper trimmer. Okay, so this is our card base, and then I've cut the other piece that is the 3 and, what did I say it was? 3 3/4 by 5 and a little bit like 5 1/8. Now, what I normally do, instead of using the whole piece of designer paper, and you can do that, I just cut a 1/2 inch strip and then I'll glue it down and then trim it off. It just doesn't make sense to use the whole piece when you're not going to see it. So I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive, and I'll put just a strip of the liquid or Tombow glue, and then we want to make sure that we get it, so we want the red, our sweet sorbet side, to show. So I'm going to lay it down here, and I'm only going to show about half of that, so I'm just going to lay it down like that, and then I can move it a little bit. Let me get the other one on here. And again, these are fairly easy cards. All right, I think that's good. And then I'll just trim. This one looks a little, let me move this one over just a little bit. So that's one thing nice about the Tombow, is it gives you the ability to kind of move it some. Trying to line up our little diamonds. All right, so we've got that on there. So let me go ahead and trim these off. And that will take care of that. Let's trim that real quick. Oh, oops, no, dog's on the move. All right, so we have that. Now we're going to do some punching. So I'm going to set this off to the side for that. Now we're going to take, and this is the paper that I was talking about that you can cut. So we're going to cut, I'm going to use the, you've got either the old olive or you have the mint. So I'm going to cut this one out with the punch. And that's the nice thing, is this punch allows you to do that. So we're just going to line this up. Let me get it positioned. And hang on a minute. Hang on, hang on. All right, so there it is. And we're just going to punch it down, and then we've got those popped out of there. Isn't that cool? All right, and then the next thing I'm going to do, so we're going to use these, right? So let's see, we're going to use that. No, we're not using this heart. So we're going to put that heart off to the side. He'll go over here to use with the rest of the scraps. All right, so we have this. Now, I am going to pull in a scrap of paper, and I'm going to stamp in our mint macaron. Let me grab my thing. I'm going to stamp the leaves, and I'm going to stamp a couple of hearts, and then I'll show you. Because otherwise, in order to get, now I could come up here and stamp that again. I mean, cut that again, but I'm just going to go ahead and stamp them, and then we'll cut them out that way. So you can kind of see how you can do it both ways. All right, now this is my leaf. So these are the 2 leaves, right? So I want to get a couple more leaves. Now I can cut that out of the paper, but I just thought we'd do it this way. We'll see what that looks like, okay? And then we'll stamp a couple of the flowers. Now I'll cut the paper, and we'll cut one more. Nah, we'll do it this way. Let me just grab some scraps. All right, so we're going to stamp our heart, because we have a heart inside. Whoopsie. So we have this heart right here. And we're going to, oh, you know what? I'm going to have to cut those out. It means I got to get the cutting machine. No, I'm not thinking. Hang on. All right, so we're going to stamp this here. All right, so you can do the same thing, right? So we'll just stamp. So if you don't have the paper, you can make your own, okay? So let's close this up. I was thinking about something here and lost my mind. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put these in here. And let me get my tweezers, because that'd be easier. I should have cut this a little bit longer. Hang on a minute. So at least I can hold on to it. All right, so we're going to put this in here. Let me do it this way. Be easier. All right, we're going to lay that in here, get it lined up, and you'll see that we can then cut these leaves out. Should have used a bigger piece, huh? I always make things complicated. All right, and we'll get it down in there right about like that. All right, so we'll pop those out. Got those there. So I have my 2 other leaves. And then I only need one more, so I'll probably just cut that out as well. So let's go ahead and stamp the leaf in another mint. I'm going to do this one in mint. We'll just do one. Let's see. Let me grab another sheet of paper. Hang on. Try and find my scraps. And we'll stamp that right like that. I only need one more. Okay. So this kind of shows you if you don't have the paper, you can still reach the same design. All right. So we've got here. So let's go ahead and stamp. We're going to go ahead and cut out these hearts. All right, so we got that one. And of course, it always cuts the leaves out for you. And then we're going to put this one in here and line that one up. All right. Okay. And then, of course, you have all the scraps here. So let's get all of this stuff out of the way. Are y'all still with me? Okay, we're moving along here. And then we're going to do... let's go ahead and punch out both of these flat leaves. Oops, got to put them in the right way. What did I do? Did I stamp them wrong? Hang on. Oh, there we go. Helps if I do it right. All right, so we're going to try to get them lined up. All right, we'll pop those out. A lot of punching. Okay. Now we'll start building our card. So we're going to take this, and then we're going to start building, and I'm going to put this up on these up on dimensionals. So the first heart I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay it down. I'm going to leave that to be our focal point. So the first one, I'm just going to, these 2 right here, I'm just going to lay down with the tombow. Okay, and then we'll put a leaf underneath this one. So we'll just lay them right there. And we'll put that right about there. Okay. And then this one, we'll do the same thing. No, we want that one for the top. This one, we'll do the same thing. Hello, welcome everyone. Guess I should turn the heat down. Now I'm about to get hot in here. And then I'm going to put another leaf on this one. This one's going to get laid down as well. And I will pop this leaf up. Let's see, do we want it to go that way? Let's do one here. Get that on here. And I think we'll do one on this side because I think it's going to be seen. So let's pop this one up like that. Okay? And try to stay in the camera. And I'm going to move this one down just a little bit. All right, now this one we're going to pop up on dimensionals. So we will take and put dimensionals here. All right, and then this one we are going to, let me think about how I'm going to do this because I want to put that, I've got a stem that I cut, and all I did was just cut like 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to put that on here as well. And then we're going to attach our leaves to this one. I guess I better put another dimensional. I probably need to get 3 so they don't look lopsided. All right, so we'll go ahead and we're going to pop him up here. I'm going to lay this on here. And then I think what I will do, I want him up higher. So I think I'm going to lay, hold on a second, let me see how I want to do this. All right, so I'm going to lay this leaf, I'm going to glue this down, and then I'll add some more glue in just a minute, but I'm going to get this up here because I'm going to put my leaves on it. I'm going to put him at an angle, and we'll put this one right about like that, and then we'll pop these guys up on a mini dimensional underneath. So they don't look like they're flat either. And I'm using the same mint macaron that we used. So we're going to put this one, actually I probably could get away, but we'll put this one right here underneath. We'll pop it right, I'm going to get it over here. I got my dimensional in the way, so hang on a second. Let's put it about like that. And then this one we'll put on this side. All right, and we'll put this one up just a tad like that. Get him under there. Got to get him under there. There we go. All right, now we're going to, and this stem is a lot, that one's much skinnier. This one I didn't cut it down, but that's okay. It's fine. We'll just bring this down and glue it, and then we'll trim off the bottom. All right, so we'll get that down there and go ahead and trim that off. Okay. All right, and now I'm going to take, there's a little stamp here that's got these 2 little hearts that are connected, and we're going to stamp a few of the hearts. Now, the ones that I did initially, I fussy cut those from the paper, and then I realized that we had 2 stamps that would do that, and I thought, well, that was smart. So anyways, we're going to do a couple of hearts, and that makes it a little bit easier for me. I don't have to fussy cut. I probably should have pulled these flowers down a little bit. And I think I'm going to add a couple like right here. Okay. I think that looks good. All right. Now we are going to bring in our ribbon. Let me get some of this out of the way here. And we're going to tie a bow. And then we'll add some little embellishments. So this is the red ribbon that comes with it. And I'm just going to tie a large bow, and this is this looks very similar to what we've had before in the past. So if you have any of this thin red ribbon, it looks like it's got stitching on the sides. You might want to use it. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll just make a big bow once I get it straight, and then we'll shorten it down. Once I get, what in the world am I doing here? Hold on. See, I told you. All right, let's go this way. All right, pull him through. All right, there we go. All right. I know, I tell you, it's like thumbs, right? All right, so we're going to pull it tight. I'm going to bring it down a little bit. This one needs to come down. We'll make it a little bit bigger. Let's see, got to poof it up too, right? So I got to play with it. You know how it is. And we'll add a little bit more here, pull a little bit more, make this one a little bit bigger. I'd rather be able to make it bigger than, you know, so it's not too, looks like it's out of whack. Okay, I think that's good. So let's trim this down. And we'll just trim a piece there, and we'll cut that there. All right, so we're going to add this. Let me get my ribbon to where it's going to lay right. Pull this in so it's taut. And then we'll trim up that. And we're going to use a mini glue dot. And we'll attach that. And then we'll add our sentiment. And then we'll do a few little jewels. So I'm going to place a dot. I think I'm going to put it right about here. And then I'm going to also put one on the back of the ribbon so it gives it really two to hold on to. I wish they made these glue dots like they used to, where you could roll it backwards, right? And you'd have them on the top and not have to dig for them. Okay, so here is our red ribbon bow. Let's get this pulled down just a little bit. We're going to place that right here. Pop that down on that. And we'll bring these ribbons down. I'm going to trim that up since it doesn't want to cooperate. So we'll do like that. And we'll cut this one just a little bit. All right. So that's so far so good. And let me pop, I'm going to kind of fluff these up. This guy right here is not laying the way I want it to lay. All right, so we've got those there. This one looks much better. All right, and now we're going to come in with our sentiment. I went ahead and cut this out, and this is from the, oh my gosh, I'll have to tell you later because I don't remember which one it came from. I think it's the, shoot, I had them out and I didn't write it down. My fault. I'll have to let y'all know what, oh, it's right here in front of me. Tasteful Label Dies, duh. It's this one right here, the Tasteful Label Dies. I went and looking for dies and I found them. I thought, how come I don't use these? I don't use them as often as I should. You know, do y'all do that? Do y'all have stuff you look at and you go, how come I've never used that before? All right, so we're going to stamp this Happy Valentine's Day. All right. And I found that when you use red ink, if you put your stamping mist, your mist on it, your cleaning mist right onto your photopolymer, that helps to remove some of that red if you do it, soon after that you've stamped the red. All right, we're going to pop this up on dimensionals. Imagine that. And we will put, since this was a large one, we're going to go ahead and put 3 on here. So how are we doing? Hello, hello. All right, so we'll pop these off and we're moving right along here. All right, so we're going to place that right there. And then I'm going to put some of the, save my leaf for later. Move some of this stuff out of the way. All right, I'm going to use some of the 2123 in color jewels. I have very few of these left, so I'm just going to pull in ones that I think will look good. So I'm going to put a couple down just to give it a little bit of sparkle. And I think we need one here because this thing looks kind of like a plain Jane. And then I've got one more that, how about if we place it right about there? And what, okay, so that, and then we're going to add this and we're going to place this directly on our card base. So we'll go ahead and add some adhesive to this. And again, we're using the thick base 4 1/4 by 11. So we're going to lay that down just like that. And then again, I'll put my inserts on the inside when I get ready to send this card to someone. So there you go. There's another pretty card that we can do. You can either stamp out of the paper if you have it, or you can create your own with the punch when it comes back in stock. All right, so there we go. I just wish I would have cut this a little bit thinner. This one looks a little bit more realistic, but I think it still looks nice. All right, so that's number 2. And then we're going to move on to the next one, and we're trying to use, well, we're using the colors that are in the paper, and a lot of it's mint green, pink, petal pink, and mint macaroni mint, petal pink, and baby blues, and all that stuff. All right, so let me move this out of the way, and this is the next card that we're going to make. And again, we're using the paper. So let's pull in all of our stamps that we need. We don't need the real, the sweet sorbet, so let's put that out of the way. And we're not using this, we're not using the punch on this one. We're just going to use paper and our stamps. So let me move all this over there. All right, so we're using a petal pink base. This is 5.5 by 8.5. And this one, I have using 5.5 by 8.5, so we're going to score it at 4.25. So I'm just going to fold this over, and we're going to look at it. We're going to use this in the landscape mode. So let's go ahead and burnish that really well. And then this card's going to go like that. Now, I did take the basic white, and I ran this through the time-worn type embossing folder, just to give it a little something in the background so it wasn't just plain old white. So I've added that. So I'm going to go ahead and attach that to our card base. So let me go ahead and do that. Now, you know what? Hang on. I'm not going to do that yet. I like to put all my pieces together before I do that. All right, this is 1.5, if I'm not mistaken, 1.5 by 5.25. Let me make sure. I'm pretty sure it's 5.25. Yep, 5.25. So we're going to put that kind of towards the bottom, not quite centered, but a little bit leaning. I usually cut mine a little bit longer, so I make sure it goes end to end, and then I can trim it. I'm going to put a little bit of seal on here, so that I can, anytime I use something that's embossed, I usually want to use a little bit stronger adhesive. So I'm going to lay that right about, I guess right about there. And then we will make sure that's straight. And it's very deceiving when you're looking at checks and everything, right? Okay, and that hangs over a little bit, and that was intentional because I want to make sure that it gets covered all the way. And so I'm just going to come back here and just trim off that little piece right there, and then that way it's nice and even. All right, so that's going to go here. And then the next thing, we're going to take a piece that is, I wrote it on the back, 2.25 by 3.75, and all of this is in that paper pack. Now this one we're going to place right to the right-hand side, and we're just going to use our multi-purpose liquid glue. And then for those that have come in late, make sure you watch the beginning because I'm now offering the card kits for free with a purchase. So you can get all of that information when you go back and start the video from the beginning. All right, so we're going to put that there. And then the next thing we're going to do is we've got this here. And this is, I think, a 3, I cut it down. Yeah, it's 3 by 3 square. And we're going to stamp, and this is the 2-step stamping. And this is the flowers. So we're going to do one in one color and one in the other. So I'm going to do the flowers in petal pink. And then this one here is all the leaves. So we'll do that in the mint macaron. So let's do, excuse me, the flowers first. And then that will allow us to find where we need to place our leaves. Okay? All right. So you've got to look at, this is a heart. Hopefully I've got it down here right. I'm looking at it, it's like a little crooked. All right, so let's make sure we got some ink on here. All right, so we're gonna push this down. I wanna make sure I have room for my sentiment, and I should. So let's go right about there. And if this doesn't look right, we'll just flip it over because we've got another side to our paper. All right, so there's that, and then we'll come in. And there, it looks like little splotches, right? And then we'll come in. It looks like that didn't go very well. I think I need to start using my Stamparatus. That way, if we miss up on the color, we can push it back in there and get it fixed, right? All right, so now we have our leaves. So we need to make sure you just hover, excuse me, and you can see the areas where the leaves are going to go. So you just want to get your stamp. What I normally do is I hover over it and see where my openings are before I push this down. And this looks a little bit, hang on a minute. This one needs to come up my right side, my left goes. Just takes a minute. And then once you think it right, then we'll push down. There we go. And then we have our heart. So very pretty. So this is another way, use all sorts of colors. But again, I'm using the colors that are in our card. All right, I'm going to stamp our sentiment. Let me find it. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Hold on. I had all my little sentiments out here. Dun, 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 dun. Hold on. I know I pulled him out of the case. I'm pretty sure I did. Let me see. It's the one that says, with love. All right. Oh, here he is. He fell over. And we're going to do that in black. You could do it in green or the petal pink, but I think I'm going to do it in black and try to do it light. You could do probably gray. It might look better than the starch black. And I'm going to stamp that right. I'll put it right here. Okay. And put this back. And then we're going to attach this using dimensionals. And then we're going to tie another bow. And put that over there. And we'll tie another bow with our burlap ribbon. So we'll just tie a bow and we'll attach this with dimensionals. So let's just get that one pulled through. There we go. And make sure we get it in. There we go. And then we'll shorten it. And then this is how you just have to play with it. This is a little bit thicker ribbon, so you're going to have to just play with it to get the size that you want before it gets too small. And we'll just trim these up some. So I'm trying to hold the knot, but as you hold it, there we go. Keeps wanting to get grow. Try to lay it down so it looks nice. And you know, every time you pull it, right, it grows. So you want to pull it a little bit shorter than what you would want. You pull the back side in a little bit and hold it. There we go. I think that's good. Get that tight. This piece here wants to be twisted around. It's probably the way I tied it. There we go. Let's see if we can flatten it. There we go. Let's see if we can do it like that. There we go. That looks good. Oops. I just dropped a block. Sorry about that. I love this ribbon though. It's really pretty. I'm glad they came out with this. All right, so let's go ahead and adhere everything. Let's do this piece first. That way we've got this already in place before we add our piece with all the dimensionals. And I'm just going to layer this with some adhesive there. And we'll put that on here. And again, don't forget, when you have all of this designer paper, you want to make sure that you decorate your envelopes. And you know how to do that, so I'm not going to show you how to do it. Let me lift this up and pull it over just a little bit. Hang on a second. He's got a little bit. There we go. A little. It's kind of hard for some reason when you're sitting. When I'm sitting, I can't pull it in front of me. Hold on a minute. There we go. I think that looks good. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's throw some dimensionals on this one. And I've got a class I'm going to put out for the Silly Goose. I was working on that today. So that should be ready to go out here in a couple of days. And it's an online class. All right, so we're going to push down on our dimensionals. I know the heart stamp's really pretty, isn't it? And it really does mimic the designer paper. Oh, good. Watch the replay because I opened up with some information. Welcome from Texas. And let me pull these out of the way. All right, so we're going to place this down here, and I'm going to place it right about there. And you can, however you want to place your heart, that's fine. And I've left enough space here because that's where we're going to put, whoops, not that ribbon. I'm going to take the ribbon off the card. And we're going to use our glue dots. If I can locate, oh, they're right in front of me. You remember when the glue dots, when you unrolled them, they were on top? Now they're underneath. I really liked them. At first, I thought I hated them on top, but honestly, I like them much better on the other way, because this is kind of difficult trying to get to these things. I'm gonna put a glue dot right there. I'm gonna put 2 glue dots because it's a little bit heavy ribbon. I'm gonna just put them side by side. It's not gonna hurt. All right, and then we've got this guy here, and we're gonna place him. I'm gonna put him a little bit at an angle. All right, there you go. There's our 3rd card. So let's bring in the other 2. So we've got this one, and you know, this could be an anniversary card. It could be, you know, Valentine's card. It could just because you love somebody, you're a friend. So those are the 3 cards that we made this evening. Very simple, but they look really, really nice. Now this one, and this one, you'll probably want to put like a little cover piece of, I always put a piece of cardstock over top just because it's a little bit bulky. You should be able to mail it for the same price of 1 stamp. I've been able to do that, but I do cover that so it does go through the machine and it doesn't feel as bulky as it looks or as it feels without. So, all right, so just remember now, if you place an order of $35 in my online store between now and next Friday next Tuesday by 5 p.m., then you will get these cards, 2 each. So I will send you all of everything pre-cut. So actually, you would receive everything to make these cards exactly, with the exception of the stamps and this one here, because I can't give you the stamp, but you can always use something else. So keep that in mind. All right, everyone, thank you so much. I greatly appreciate you joining me. And look, it's 7:56, even if I had to get up a couple of times. There you go. So thank you again for watching me on Wednesday. We will go back to Tuesdays next week. We had 2 commitments that happened to be 2 weeks in a row on a Tuesday night. So I hope you've enjoyed these cards. And if you need anything or have any questions, just reach out to me. I would greatly appreciate it. Thank you again for spending your Wednesday evening with me, and I will see you all next Tuesday night. Thank you.